Of the Ceremony of the Flags. I am Sub-Lieutenant Nathan Wong, and I have the honor to be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening's performance. The Ceremony of the Flags was created over 50 years ago after the introduction of the new Canadian flag and was originally performed in 1967 by the Royal Canadian Navy to celebrate Canada's centennial. The ceremony is performed by members of the Royal Canadian Sea and Air Cadets, all part of the Canadian Cadet Program, a national youth program sponsored by the Government of Canada under the wing of the Department of National Defence. Currently, there are over 60,000 members of the Royal Canadian Sea, Army and Air Cadets in 1,100 communities across the country from coast to coast. Tonight's ceremony is founded in the military rituals of the 17th century. It combines elements of the ancient military pageants of tattoo, retreat, and sunset. The ceremony opens with a musical fanfare and the marching on of the parade to the thundering arrangement of the voice of the guns. Once the members of tonight's parade are in place, the band will step off to perform the trooping of the band and will slow march across the front of the guard, then back to its original position. The drum major then orders the drummers forward to play the drummer's call. This routine was founded in the late 17th century when soldiers were garrisoned or billeted outside the walls of cities or fortresses. The soldiers had plenty of time to socialize in the inns and taverns. The purpose of the drummer's call was to call the soldiers back to their encampment outside the city at the end of the evening. After the drummer's call, the drumline returns to their positions and the trumpeters march on to the forefront to play the last post. The ceremony continues with the guard and flags advancing to the front of the parade ground. Once in place, the guard will fire a feu de joie. This dates back to the time when a night guard was mounted after the troops returned to the garrison. Before the sentries took their post, the soldiers fired their muskets to prove that they were in good working condition and cleared of any damp powder. The ceremony continues with the trooping of the flag. The flag party marches through the guards, while the naval field gun fires a 21-gun salute to the national flag, while the band performs the Maple Leaf Forever. The parade takes a more somber tone as the sunset ceremony commences with the playing of the evening hymn when the guard is ordered to reverse arms and rest. As the sun goes down, the band will play the orchestrated sunset, which is then followed by O Canada and God Save the Queen to honor the national flag. The ceremony concludes with the contingent marching past the reviewing officer in slow and quick time. Tonight's reviewing officer is Commander Martin Packer, the commanding officer of HMCS Quadra, accompanied by His Worship Paul Ives, the Mayor of Comox. HMCS Quadra Cadet Training Center Ceremony of the Flags Band is comprised of 65 Sea and Air Cadets aged between 14 to 18 years. The bandmaster for tonight's performance is Sergeant Joan Coe, and the drum major is Petty Officer First Class Eric Wang. The guard and flag party are made up of the training center staff cadets and course cadets taking the drill and ceremonial instructor, shipwright, and bosun mate courses. These cadets are mostly between the ages of 14 to 18. The gun crews are drawn from cadets attending various 3- and 6-week training courses.
Ceremony of the Flags, Comox. Permission to carry on?
The Guard Commanders are Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class Kieran McGinley and Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class Sebastian Bodine. The Flag Party Commander, carrying the National Flag of Canada, is Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class Tamara Statham. The Ensign of the Royal Canadian Sea Cadets is carried by Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class Cassandra Shaw. Chief Petty Officer 2nd Class Jay St. Clair is the Senior Flag Party Escort this evening. To commemorate the 150th anniversary of Canada's Confederation, a Canada 150 flag has been added to the flag party, carried by Petty Officer First Class Rianne Millette. The naval field guns are manned by cadets from the drill and ceremonial instructor, shipwright, and bosun mate courses. The field gun captains are Petty Officer 2nd Class Benjamin Bernhardt and Petty Officer 1st Class Riley Howells. The officers supporting the parade are members of the Cadet Organization Administration and Training Service, a subsection of the Canadian Armed Forces Reserve. The Cadet Instructors Cadre branch is one of the oldest corps within the Canadian Armed Forces, founded on the 1st of May in 1909 and celebrated its centennial year in 2009. We ask that spectators rise during the ceremonial sunset as the band plays the orchestrated Sunset, O Canada, and God Save the Queen. All personnel who are in uniform but not participating in the parade are asked to stand and salute. Spectators will be asked to rise again for the march past and departure of the parade.